halftime chat. You know what? It has been what 3.5 years right now that I've been doing this stuff, um, and yeah, I took about 3 months. So some of you might have noticed that I've done some reruns and stuff, but I had to take 3 months off because it was just relentless. Um, but October is going to be the start of season four. Season four. So if you think about it, I started around August of. I started around August of 2020. So season four will start this October. Some amazing stuff. Now, actually, tonight I've got a new group, Narus, which is Shawn Rivera. They're joining in, and No Adams. They're joining in shortly. But also there's a lot of big stuff that I'm expecting to bring over the next couple of weeks. I've got uh, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much stuff, but there's a lot of big stuff starting in October onwards. So please bear with me. But I'm really excited. It has been tough. It's been really busy. It's been really busy, but I'm coming back with a massive bang. Loads of interviews, loads of live stuff, and but this is one of my first ones now. But as I said, October just going to go full out as well. So I want to thank you guys for supporting me for this time. As I said, it's over 150 different interviews. It's not been easy, but it's getting better right now. You might have seen I've been doing some of the other things, New Jack Swing podcast, having some live stuff, and that has been helping me just to take the stress out and everything. But I have missed interviewing. I've missed going talking to guests, and it's going to be a mixture of two things. I'm going to do some live stuff like I'm doing tonight, um, and I'm going to also do some pre-recorded stuff as well. So just join me in both sets over the next coming weeks. But as I said, starting in October, I'm going live, going some big stuff, some big interviews and stuff. So yeah, be willing for that. But anyway, I'm going to bring in my guest for this evening, and this was quickly put together, and I'm really glad to be able to bring them in. Um, so I'm actually bringing them in, and we can start off with. Hey, okay, Sean, Norm, how you guys? Are you guys you're joined in and everything?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Let's go.
Okay, okay. You know, I was trying to introduce yourselves, and I was thinking, did I pronounce the word? Was is it Narcissus, or how do you pronounce the name of your group?
It's Nazareth.
Nazarus. Okay,
Nazareth. Yes.
okay. So, I guess for those who are going to be joining and listening and stuff, it might be great to be able to introduce yourselves and then talk about how the group came together.
Okay. All right. You want to start?
He always starts.
Oh, you
No,
want me to start?
because it has to do with the way the name is spelled.
Okay. 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 Hi. My name is Norm Adams.
Adams Shawn Rivera.
Yeah, we are
We're
Nazareth, and basically the group just kind of came together from two individual entities, creative entities, who were friends first. I mean, we were just kind of friends and both musically, musical backgrounds, and Sean had put out a single last year, and I was helping him, to kind of, promote his, yeah, the Giggity. That's right. Yeah, say the name. Yeah. And so through my circles, from my angle of the music business, and my connections, people that I knew, and so whenever we would go places, people would ask us, hey, when are you guys going to do something together? And at that point, we weren't, really thinking about it. But then the more that question was posed to us, the more it sounded like a good idea. And so we kind of, got together and made it happen. And here we are. Neurotic Goddess. It's out today.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
A lot of you guys may remember me from As Yet, I'm sure, but Norm is no slouch himself. He's connected with a lot of artists, related to some artists as well.
Yes.
I'll let him tell his own story, but yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for people to get to know Norm.
Okay. Well, thank you, and we can get into that. We won't let the moderator do his thing.
No, that's fine. It's fine. Yeah, as I said, I mean but I mean, what about the name? I mean, Nazarus. I mean, as I said, it is.
Mhm.
You know, people might think, oh, is it like Jesus of Nazareth? Or, but what is? It must be. It may be a common name, but what's the deal with the name?
Well, well, it is a divine experience.
The project is giving us new life.
Right. Basically, Nasrus is an acronym. It's a self-identifying acronym. It's our initials. Norm Adams, Shawn Rivera, and the word us. So it identifies who we are.
Okay.
Very simple.
Okay. One of the things that that isn't very common are duels. Two people within a group. I mean, generally you get 3, 4, 5 in some case, in most cases. So
The world's smallest group.
but it does seem like a very interesting dynamic, which I don't know how much the as an audience you kind of not gravitate to when two people sing. And it seems quite it almost seems kind of a little strange. So how did you guys decide on just the two of us? We got our voice, let's sing. Or did you think about making it a 3 or 4?
We're originally like 8 members. No, I'm kidding. We've both been in groups before.
Yes.
And shout out to Viva Mas, because a lot of people have been asking me about the project that I'm still working on. Viva Mas. Viva Mas is not over. We're just we're hoping we can bring all of these projects together. But on my end, I was really done with groups because obviously I had my hands full with a group, and then having been in another group. And Norm was sharing some of the experiences he had with groups, both good and challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, we were the exception to each other's rules about what we would take to be even willing to work with someone else again, because we're both kind of control freaks. We wear a lot of hats. So it was actually nice when we started working together to say, wait a minute, we're finishing each other's sentences.
Yeah.
We're balancing each other out. It's just the chemistry was too undeniable. Like think of I don't know, Run DMC or Kid and Play, there's like a balance that just naturally seemed to happen.
Right. And I think it builds on what I was saying earlier about the friendship aspect too. It's a lot easier when you're working with someone that as opposed to working with a group of people who have been, just kind of put together, from different, from different backgrounds. And in my most recent musical experience, I had done a series of duets with Julia Robertson, who is formerly of the group Ex-Girlfriend. Okay. So I have very recent experience working with 2 people, with a duo. Although that was a male-female dynamic, so so that was a bit different, than this is. But suffice it to say, I had some familiarity with that, as opposed to having been with a group, years ago that started out as 5 and then went down to 4 and then to 3. So and again, just the more personalities you have, the more challenging there is for the potential, the more challenging to be. So this way it's much easier this way.
Okay. I mean, the industry has changed so much over the last number of years. Firstly, it was Apple Music and the iPod and iShuffle then, and we're now heavily into streaming. Albums have become relics, and it's all about singles and TikTok and stuff. What is it that's and as I said, as a consumer of music, we still love great music, but we wonder what's in it for the artist in order to be able to try and make a living out of being recording artists.
Ooh, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question, because we talk about this all the time. That we know going in that no matter how much effort you put in, you're statistically almost guaranteed to be disappointed if you expect to become an overnight success. You can only buy so much, exposure and work so hard. And like you said, what's in it for us? we enjoyed the process all the way along, from the recording to shooting the video to just every day, the nuts and bolts of the thing we do, from mixing and mastering to writing the songs, all of the unglamorous parts that usually deter people from following their dream. If we only sell 10 million copies, you know, I'll share it to you. But if we sell 10 copies, I'll be ecstatic that those 10 people, like, you know, really enjoyed it, because we had so much fun making it. Like, you have to enjoy the process and be willing to walk away with an experience worth having. Don't wait for this perceived idea of success in order to celebrate the journey.
Yeah. It's definitely a labor of love, you know, it's definitely a labor of love, and it's about what your motivation is going into it, especially now with the way that the business model is set up. You know, so unless you're Taylor Swift or, you know, Beyonce or someone, you know, on that level, you know, the reality is that, you know, that business model is not set up for you.
And
you know,
to that point, even Beyonce right now, I just saw the news, she's losing money because her projections for the sales of her merchandise, the Blue Ivy, fell like $160 million short of what she was advanced, and they said, you know what, we're just gonna. She only made 40 million.
Right.
I mean, so no matter what level you're on.
Right. So if that's the case and that's happening with her, is there really any hope
No
for
one
that?
Yeah, no, as I said, it's you know, and I could only use my own experience when I started this back in during lockdowns. So it was probably around May of 2020, and I was happy when 10 people were watching, and you know, just bit by bit it's grown, and you know, it is you know, definitely a very different direction compared to if I was a gossip site. You know, you get a lot more people who watch and stuff and stuff, but because the journey and the love is to listen to stories like yourselves and be able to share it with other people, it's you're doing it for love. But as I said, it is quite different for you guys as artists, because it doesn't cost me anything to just to sit down and talk to you guys. But you know, recording the music, actually, you know, going through the studios and stuff, putting out videos, then trying to get shows and stuff. That's a lot more work and stuff. So, how do you then motivate yourselves to say, you know what, we're going to keep on pushing through the, you know, the myriad of different songs and other things that are out there in order to try and get what you created to be heard?
Well, first of all, I would like to add that the time that you're taking right now to talk to us is the most valuable thing.
Yes.
Time that we could be spending with our loved ones, people that take the time to listen to the music, to take the time to click and share. That's really valuable in this day and age and any time. But as far as, it kind of comes back to what we said before about enjoying the process. It could be frustrating if you're only looking for results and not really, like, we'll sit there and go over every little thing with a fine-tooth comb, find a way to enhance what we're doing, and it's worth losing sleep over. What do you think?
It is, especially if you know what motivates you and it's coming from that place, you know, because you get out of it what you put into it, you know. And so if you are aspiring to, you know, a certain level, you know, then you put in the work, right? You know, and whether or not you get there, it should not be for lack of trying, you know. So I think that if your motivation is coming from a place of genuine love of the craft, that's what keeps you going. It's what keeps me going anyway, and I'm sure, you know, Shawn feels the same.
Coffee keeps me going.
Well, yeah, that's it. Lots of it. But you know, and again, it just depends on why you're in it. You know, I mean, Shawn and I have been doing this, you know, separately, now together, you know, for many years. You know, and one thing that I found, you know, along my personal journey is that no matter what happens or doesn't happen, if you're in it for the love of the craft, that is motivation in and of itself. Because, you know, if you're only in it for the fame or the money or the women or, you know, or whatever, you know, those superficial things, yeah, you know, sure, certain things may happen, you know, that seem great at the time, but is there really any longevity, you know? in that approach, you know. So that's what I think, you know, I know keeps me going. I'm sure
Yes.
Shawn
Success is a hollow
agrees.
victory when it's not won on your own terms. When you're
Yes.
fighting someone else's fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
What about the type of I mean, there are two areas now. It's the theme of the music that you're coming out with, but also the sort of genre.
Well, Neurotic Goddess is the name of our single, and it's just a fun, you know, tongue-in-cheek, cautionary tale, let's just say, about the dangers of infatuation.
would it be safe to say that this is a departure for both of us in the sense that it's more of a pop, dance, R&B flavored song as opposed to a hardcore R&B song or a sexy song per se, although, you know, it's got some elements in it of everything. This is probably the most broad spectrum of music that one could expect to hear. Like you can play it for your grandparents or your grandkids and everyone can enjoy it.
Right. You know, and we wanted to do something that was fun and, you know, just kind of light, you know.
Not taking ourselves too seriously.
Right. As you can see for our, you know, Neurotic Goddess. Right. You know, just because, you know, we've had varied experiences, you know, in the music industry with people, you know, that we've, you know, performed with. You know, Shawn has been, you know, with groups. I've been, you know, with groups. I've been in duos. You know, so the type of music that you do, depending on the situation, you know, that you're in, can vary. You know, so when we talked about, all right, what do we want Nazareth to be? You know, we just want to have some fun. You know, we don't want to be out there wearing suits and, you know, and just.
You may remember that. I didn't mean to interject, but this just came to me. We go back a long way because Namdi used to work for Yab Yum, which was
yes, at Edmonds Entertainment. Yes.
You know the horror stories firsthand, and there were some great experiences. I don't want to diss anyone for giving us an opportunity, but I think to your point, we wanted to get a chance to do all the things that we weren't able to, allowed to, or even trusted to do because we were still trying to make a name for ourselves and everyone else was investing. But when you're the one who say you got to pay the cost to be the boss, we finally get a chance to do it our way. So whether we win or lose, we did it the way we wanted to do it from start to finish. Right. No label telling us how to sound, what to wear, you know, where to be. We set our own schedule and we're here voluntarily.
Yep. So exactly.
Yeah, you know that there's nothing more powerful than having your own creative license and creative freedom to be able to express yourself the way that you just want to, and you know, you get people who leave very successful groups or organizations and start off something really small, but they're happy about it, and I think, you know, a lot of us, out of fear, just stick with the formula and just like, you know, we just stick with it. We're not happy. We don't feel like we're being heard, but we just stick with it because it feels safe. So
well, we really have a formula. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
Okay. Yeah, but now, so the music-wise, so because you mentioned that it is sort of like popish and all this. I mean, especially if there's two of you coming from very different types of backgrounds in music, or maybe even similar, but how did you draw to this and say, okay, we'll actually go into this direction?
You know what? I love telling this story. So, one day, Norm was driving me back from an interview that we went to together to promote Giggity, and he says, man, I had this idea for a song, but I almost don't want to play it for you because you might think it's too silly or too whatever, right? Weird, right? So I said, I like weird. I'm sure, just email it to me. So he sends me a voicemail that he sang on his phone. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, wait a minute, I know exactly what this needs. And that rarely happens. Like usually I'll make a track and then someone else writes to it, or I'll write to somebody else's track. But in this case, he sent me the lyrics and melody. I took it off of the voicemail, lined it up to a metronome, and built the music around it. And it came out so good that we were like, oh man, we're onto something here.
Yeah.
So it was totally organic. It wasn't like we sat down and tried to reach a target market, or, you know, we had a few conversations about what we wanted to get across musically to suit the feeling of the lyrics. Right. But what you hear on the record is word for word what Norm sang, melody and lyrics, and the music was done from scratch by yours truly. And then we, of course, fed back toward each other so that you know, my ideas may have influenced his vocal, and his ideas may have influenced the track. You know, so we co-produced everything the way we wanted it. And right here, we sat down, you know, in the living room to record it. You know, brought the studio, set everything up, and you know, sent it out to be mastered.
And you know, and I got to give it to Shawn, because it's not easy to plug into someone's head. You know what I mean? To kind of get the vibe that they're emanating. You know what I mean? When I write, that's typically my process. You know, and because of that, I've kind of been with this. I've been with the same producers on a number of projects, because it's rare that you can find someone who can, you know, plug into your head and kind of hear what you hear in your head and bring it to life like that, you know. So the fact that, you know, that Shawn was able to do that really almost effortlessly.
Well, it's all his fault, because I was inspired, and I'm one of those people where if I'm inspired, I will not move. I'll save that opportunity for someone better suited. Like I don't just do things because it's an idea. But that, I couldn't sleep as soon as I heard it. I was like, oh man, we're gonna have fun with this one.
Yeah, and we did.
Wow. I mean, what about, I know, you know, technology has moved on from the days where you'd have to fly into Hit Studios, or Electric Ladies, you know, studio to record. Now nowadays people send vocals and send things around. Are you guys both on the East Coast, West Coast? I mean, are you in this Philly, New York? I mean, how do you guys get together?
Yes. East Coast, Philly, New York, Jersey. You can find us
anywhere. Anywhere in the tri-state area, we're right there.
So you guys are able to meet up to rehearse and actually, I mean, because one thing recording together, but what about the actual putting out performance?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we live in close proximity, so you know, that's what makes it easy. Because again, like I said, it just kind of goes back to the fact that, you know, we were friends first before all of, you know, before we became a duo, you know, a group.
So now we're having a productive friendship.
Right. So we've kind of parlayed that now, you know, into the creative part of ourselves, you know. So yeah, it's been really you know, seamless, really, almost, you know, you know, you kind of want to knock wood, you know, because it's been going so well.
Like, by the way, go ahead. Thank you for like taking that last minute thing, because we just called to say hi.
Yeah.
You guys want to go on in a couple of hours? Like, and it's falling in our lap once again. See, you're keeping the streak going.
Exactly.
Sorry.
No, as I said, I'd been off for 3.5 months, and so pretty much just slowly getting back. And what has happened is I used to interview 2-3 people a week, and so relentless. So when you've been off for 3.5 months, you kind of lose it. So when you guys call, I'm like, well, this is what I would normally do in an interview, so might as well just get it on tape, so at least everyone else can hear and we can share it. What is the plan? What's the calendar for you guys then? So I believe you've just dropped Neurotic Goddess today. Is that the case? Okay. I've put the link. I've put the link in here. So this is where. If they can search for it online, but this is also the links in the chat, and it will be in the description, so you can go straight to the streaming services to get it. But what else? What's the plan now? The singles dropped today. Congrats. What's the plan?
Thank you. Well, we've got a full marketing plan set up. We've got a lot of promotional appearances. We have a video for Neurotic Goddess that will be out in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. And you know, once that drops, then we really kick into high gear. We've got some morning TV appearances in different markets around the states here. And then we're going to be coming your way. We're going to be coming over to the UK in the future. So you know, we're excited about that. You know, just we're casting the net wide, man. You know, and you know, we're just so grateful for everyone who is coming on board and who's taking this ride with us, because this is literally a grassroots thing. You know, working this from the ground up, because I said earlier, between the two of us, we have, 1,000 years in the music industry. But collectively, together, we're a new group,
Yeah.
So, we have to build that fan base and
that hunger. Yeah.
Exactly right. And the way we do that is by doing things like this, and by folks like you sharing your platform with us, for which we are so appreciative and so grateful, and also to everyone who's watching. So yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna go big or go home on this one. That was our epitaph on it, because we believe in the song, we believe in Nazareth. We believe in each other. Absolutely. And that's just a great place to start.
So when you put on a show, I mean, are you just going singing the one song and then leaving, or do you have sort of a little catalog of songs that you put together?
It depends on how long the set list is. So for instance, we did a show for the veterans, and originally they'd asked me to come on board before we started the group. And then, I talked to the promoters and said, you know what, I got this new project with a new artist, and they were kind enough to add him to the bill as Nazareth. So we wound up doing like a half an hour set, some covers, mashups, and then, the big hit at the end, the feature big hit at the end.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of times they may ask, for specific songs or that sort of thing. But we have, between us, we've both been singers for so long that it just, we'll make a set list based on the crowd. And yes, we're working on more music, but at the same time, he has solo records, I have solo records, we have songs together and cover songs. It's enough, if you need more than a half an hour, hey.
Right. And then, we just did a show in New York Friday night, where we were at world famous Ashford and Simpson Sugar Bar in New York. And we were asked to pay homage to Shawn's musical history. So, we did a little bit of Last Night, and the crowd loved it. And, so like you said, it just kind of depends on the show and on the situation. Okay. But regardless of what it is, when you come out to see Nazareth, you're going to have a great time, because, we like to think that our energy is infectious, and our song is certainly a bop,
Yes,
so
she's last.
Yeah. And you were saying earlier that you have a few relatives within the industry as well.
Yes. So my first cousin is someone that you've actually interviewed on your show, Kima from Total.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, I've been in and around this business for decades. And even going back beyond or further than that, two of my aunts, in fact, Kima's mom being one of them, were background singers for Aretha Franklin back in the day.
Wow.
So it's kind of, it's kind of in the DNA, and so, and then just moving forward, into my own, I have been I was a member of a group called Mass Appeal, back in the day. And, we had minimal success. I mean, unfortunately, we never made it, to wide commercial, success. But, a few people knew who we were.
Okay.
And then as I moved on, did some solo stuff. And then, as I alluded to earlier, I recorded a number of duets with Julia Robertson, formerly of the girl group Ex-Girlfriend. And, we had, some success with that, quite a bit, actually. The first song we did together, a song called Body Rush, was in the preliminary ballot round for Grammy consideration. So we were very proud of that.
Wow.
Then, we did a Christmas song together called My Kind of Christmas. Yeah, that was actually picked up for a film last year. And that's the great thing about Christmas music, because so we're excited about that. And so all of that has led me to this moment, and and to this situation, with Shawn and with Nazareth, and I think it's given me a firm foundation, a solid foundation for anything that is yet to come.
Okay. And then do you guys perform? Yeah, and I guess it depending on, I guess, venue and stuff. But do you go with your own music, or do you have a band supporting? Do you play yourself?
Yes and yes. We actually did the show that we did for the veterans was a fusion show where we brought the track, but they had a live band. So we mixed and matched. And the DJ was scratching last at the Sugar Bar. He was scratching over some of our, while we did our live thing. So
Okay.
yeah,
it depends on the situation.
Yeah,
we're ready for whatever comes.
Okay.
Or live band, we got you. We got you.
Okay, so if people wanted to just find out more about you guys, social media and stuff, where can they go to?
Okay, well, they can find us on social media on IG, X, formerly known as Twitter, Threads, TikTok. We are at Nasrus Music, Nasrus Music. And then on Facebook, you could just search Nazareth. If you want to email us, it's info@nazareth.com. And then our website, which isn't up as of this moment, but by the time people are watching it back on the replay, it will be. The website is nazareth.com.
Nasrus, or just Google it and you'll find everything else.
Yeah, because you've been getting a lot of press.
There's only one. There's
okay.
Underscore.
Right, exactly. Just one.
So that's the website. Okay. So yeah. So I mean, as I said, it's I mean, it's good. I mean, and I guess they said the video will be out in 2 weeks' time. You said in about a couple of weeks' time.
And you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's
okay.
Thing that you've seen. Trust me. This was we had so much fun doing this, and we worked with the most talented group of people. And we're very excited about it.
What Hype Williams was he? Did you guys?
No, even better.
that's what you want to hear.
Right.
That's with a fresh perspective.
Right.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, just as we wrap up, I mean, you've got the single out. Are you expecting to put out an EP later on, or an album, or does it just go single by single? Just knowing how the industry has changed so much.
Well, here's the thing. We've talked about that. And who knows where where this could go. But we also have to keep in mind that because of the way that people consume music these days, people have very short attention spans. You know what I mean? Because we live in a very microwave society. You know what I mean? And social media is a big part of that because everything is instantaneous. So when we think about a full body of work, we have to ask ourselves, are people really going to take the time to listen to a full body of work? Or, do they want to hear the best of what you got? Because let's face it, I mean, people put together their own playlists all the time.
Well, you let us know in the comments after you hear the single. If you guys want to hear an album, the better the numbers look for us, the more likely we are to.
Yes.
It like you were saying about the microwave thing. We home cook our stuff. So if it takes for us to pour our whole selves into one song, we're treating each song like it's the last one we'll ever do. This is not something that we just threw together and say, we'll just keep them coming out every week. No, this took months and months and hours of manpower, a crew of 20 people plus, and publicists and you name it. Like it's a lot of moving parts, as you well know. So this is not something that's easy to do over and over again, no matter how much of a budget you have. So fast you can move.
Right. So again, stay tuned because you'll find out when we do.
Yeah, I mean, and finally, is it released through Sony or what? What's the distribution with?
Yes, we have distribution through Sony, the Orchard, via Humag distribution. So shout out to Humag.
Yes, indeed.
And yes, it is on all the digital platforms, anywhere that you get your digital music. Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Tidal, Amazon Music, anywhere you get digital music, it's all in that link that you put in the comments. That will take you to the link tree, and you can get Neurotic Goddess from any of those outlets.
Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate, especially today when your new single is dropped. When the video's out, we'll definitely put it up as well, so at least people can watch as well. I know there's a generation who tends to listen to our channel, tend to a few stream, but a majority would tend to listen via YouTube. It just seems the safest and most easiest way to
Yeah.
search for it, see the
Yeah.
see the link, and then play it.
Yeah, it's there too. Right
It's
now,
there.
it's on YouTube as well, the audio.
Yeah.
So, for those who may not have a subscription to a streaming service, they can go to YouTube and hear the audio there as well. So it's all support.
Yes. And if
Yes.
1,000 get 1 cent.
It's
Which goes back to the labor of love.
yeah. I'm just looking for it here. Is it not Nazarus Live? Is that?
If you type in NASRUS all caps, it should take you to a topic page that has the song on it. It's like auto-generated when you release this thing. Last I checked, it was up there. But if not, I think we'll send you it and we can add it in the comments.
Yes, if I am checking for it, but I'm not picking it up. But if you send it to the comment, then I will put it up there. But then at least at least we can start getting people to be able to listen to it now. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, but I appreciate both of you guys coming on. I'm sure when you guys do come to the UK, we'll make plans to see up live and stuff, because that'll definitely be real great to meet up and stuff like that. Yes.
We're looking forward to it. Yes.
Yeah. But congratulations. I know, as I said, it's releasing stuff might seem easy, but it's a lot of work. And we're just going to be rooting for you to make sure that it touches an audience that really, really respects it and put you guys back to work to making more music as well.
Well, it's great to see you back to work.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yes. Yeah. It's as I said, it's been good. So, but being able to see you guys first after all this time is great. And it will keep going. And then, as I said, we'll see when we see you live. We'll see how seeing you. Are you guys going to perform when you come to the UK, or?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, that whole thing is still coming together. So hopefully we get a chance to.
Yes, I mean, I've never done this, but I don't know if are there a few lines of the song that you could harmonize? I don't know if you even practice and stuff, or if it's too much, that's fine. I've never put on you guys on this spot.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. I guess we'll do this, the first verse up to the hook.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. That girl will play with your heart.
Neurotic goddess, she's a neurotic goddess.
Build you up, then tear you apart.
Neurotic goddess, she's a neurotic goddess.
So be warned that she'll pull you in.
Neurotic goddess, she's a neurotic goddess.
With equal parts heaven and sin.
Neurotic goddess, she's a neurotic goddess. You want her, you need her, but you just don't see her for what she is. She's too hot to handle. You can't hold the candle to all her vindictiveness.
Cause she's a
Wow, my goodness. I was really singing and jumping along with that. Well, my goodness. What's the story behind it, though? Is it just a...
Well, let's just say it's a cautionary tale based on experiences that we've had in previous relationships.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. Anyone who's been in any kind of relationship that didn't end well, sometimes it's all my fault. Sometimes it's nobody's fault. But in this case, we've all come across that neurotic goddess who is so beautiful that we're willing to overlook a lot of shortcomings and red flags. So we want to warn the next person, to watch out.
Right. Because my father used to say, everything that looks good to you may not necessarily be good for you.
Wow.
And with that, we get neurotic goddess.
We got treated with bugaboo and all this stuff back in the 90s from the girls, but we didn't have apart from spotty thieves with pigeons, we didn't get much from it. So no, this I appreciate it, guys. As I said, I apologize for putting you on the spot, but it's actually
Next
really
It's
it was
good. It's all good.
yeah, it was really good. So I can't wait to be able to see you guys. And as I said, maybe when the video is out, we make sure we push it out. And I appreciate the time and I appreciate you getting me out of retirement as well.
Well, thank you for coming out of retirement for us.
Yes.
It really means a lot to us.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So, guys, as I said, I've put some of the details for. You can search them up on IG, Nazareth Music. If you search them on IG, they or even their website, if you Nazareth.com. And also, if you search Spotify or IG, Spotify or any of the streaming services, or even the link tree sort of link that would be in the comments, you can go straight to stream their stuff. And definitely, once I get the YouTube topic link as well, I'll be able to put that up. But Norm and Shawn, I appreciate you, and definitely going to be rooting for you and wishing you success with your new single and the music career as well.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing your platform with us. We are grateful.
You're welcome. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, I would appreciate having Norm and Shawn, and actually for them, the fact that they sang as well. I didn't expect that, but I appreciate them for that. And as I told them too, it's been 3.5 months, so a little rusty, but I'm glad to be able to have invited them over. But yeah, as I said, check out their music, and as I said, I'm going to put a lot more of the details about how you can reach them in the streaming. And but yes, I am going to be working a lot on the membership of the channel, which has just restarted. I'm going to be working a lot on different types of things. I've got a group celebrating their 40th anniversary, something massive coming up. So I don't want to jinx it by saying anything now, but that's I'm going live with some people there, and a lot of other things. But I appreciate every single one of you who have been supporting me and Halftime Chat since 2020, and throughout the months, weeks, and years. It's been truly grateful, and I'm really fired up and ready to take things to another level. So we will see you if you can. I'll be Sunday with New Jack Swing podcast, going through some stuff. And I think my next interview next week that I'm going to start is going to be JJ Fad. Yes. But anyway, a lot of things happening, but we'll talk soon. Take care.